This week, Pokemon revealed Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield this week on Pokemon Day. And what kind of PokeTuber would I be if I didn't cover what had happened in that video? So, what's going on, Chaotix? I am Chaos, and today I will go through the 10 things you should note from the Pokemon Direct. Now, I am just stating the facts of this video, and I will try to keep my own opinions out of this analysis. So bear that in mind. I will be making future content about how I feel about the games and speculations I have for the games, so stay tuned for those as well. Now, with all that being said, sit back and relax as we dive into the world of Pokemon. Now, the first thing you should realize is these are new generations. Yes, Generation 8 is finally here, and these games are going to be released on the Nintendo Switch. Sword and Shield are their own regions, separate from the regions that we have seen in the past. These games come with new updated graphics. Yes, the graphics look amazing, and that's probably the only personal opinion I will put into this video. I also found that they seem to be more like an anime or indie game style than a traditional Pokemon game, but they're definitely an improvement on the previous generations due to the capabilities of the Switch. Now, one of the first things I noted was that this game will have some version of a completed Pokédex, and will not only be the new Pokemon like they did in Generation 5, so you will have access to catch all of your old favorites as well as some of the new Pokemon that you will be able to find. Now, we are likely to see about 100 new species being introduced alongside these new games, of course with our old favorites there as well. Now, that number can be different. It's been pretty limited in the past, but it's also been very expansive in the previous generations as well. We've seen 150 Pokemon be introduced, we've seen 75 Pokemon introduced. The range is very wide and it can be very different. But I think with this new region, and especially with some of the later facts I'm going to be describing in this video, I think they would be remiss if they did not capitalize on introducing some really cool new species into these games. Another thing is the lack of overworld Pokemon. This trailer showed no Pokemon spawning in the overworld, and we can assume that the encounter method will play like traditional main series games where you need to battle the Pokemon and then weaken it to catch it, as it was shown in the trailer. Now, when catching a Pokemon, it seems like the original capture mechanics will be used. This saves us from uncalibrated throws that we experienced in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, where we will just select which Pokeball we want to use, and our trainer will throw the ball for us in the game. Now, Game Freak probably realized that this game should be more traditional and resemble the predecessors of the main series of games. Now, if you've gotten this far into this video, I assume you're about to comment about how I have not mentioned the inspiration of the region. It's obvious that this game will take place in the United Kingdom. Now, I got this vibe from the football or the soccer uniform, as we call it over here in the States, shown, and also landmarks like Big Ben being seen, as you can see here in the background. The soccer uniform may hint at a customization method, but we don't know that for certain yet. It is just something that could be speculated to happen in the future. Another thing to be noted is that this game looks like it's not only going to be set in England, but maybe some form of medieval England. Most of the structures are built in medieval fashion, showcasing the brick designs as you can see in the video. And we also have an exploration of the countryside that we get to see from the very beginning of the game. Now, maybe we'll get to see some of the famous castles in the United Kingdom area in this game, which I would really enjoy, and maybe some really cool Pokemon as well in those areas. Now it's time for the starters. First, we have the Scorbunny, the Fire Rabbit Pokemon. This does follow the pattern of inspiration for the traditional Chinese zodiac for fire starters, being a rabbit, which is one of the zodiac members. According to the Pokemon Instagram account, this Pokemon is always running about and it's full of energy. The water starter is named Sobble, and it is a water lizard Pokemon. It's a bit timid, shooting out attacks as it hides itself in water. And then you have the final starter revealed, which is Grookey, the grass chimp Pokemon. This mischievous Pokemon is full of boundless curiosity. Now, I am refraining here from going into more details about the starters, as it would just be opinionated and just speculation. So I will save you for that, but I plan on doing a video on them very, very soon, so stay tuned for those later on. Now, one of the first things I noted in this trailer was the first gym is grass type. This one is a little bit subtler if you are focused on how the new game looks, but it's easy to recognize the grass symbol, as I've shown on the screen, on a building that the trainer is heading in towards during the trailer. Also, it has the same background as the player location as the house, so I think it is safe to assume that this would be the first gym or one of the first gyms in the region. I mean, it could be like Kanto, where they make it the first gym you come across, but you can't access it until later in the game, so that could be something as well. But either way, one of these gyms in this region is the grass typing. Another tricky thing is the reference is to Kalos. If you notice the weather vane in the opening scene, you can see the fletchling as the Pokemon on the weather vane. Now, wouldn't it make sense to tie a UK game into the Kalos region, a French region, due to their real-life proximity? This again is something to note, and maybe the player character maybe started his journey in Kalos and then moved to this new region, and fletchling is just a reminder from his family of where they came from, and maybe something that they passed along as they moved, or throughout the generations as well. Kind of like Lieutenant Surge's signature in the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where we saw that from Kanto, because the trainer was from Kanto, but we didn't have any going back to Kanto or things like that. But of course, this is all speculation. You will see that later on in this series. Well, those are 10 things you should note from this Pokemon Direct that came out at the end of February. Let me know if you think I missed anything, or are there any topics you want me to cover about these new games. Let me know that in the comment section down below. I'm also doing a Metronome Mini League on Twitch, so make sure you go over to our Discord server and sign up to do that. Of course, you do not have to have any competitive battling experience whatsoever. All you have to do is have access to the internet and Pokemon Showdown, and everything else will just happen as it does. Well, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you do leave a like, and also leave a like if you found it useful for your own playthrough experiences. Also, subscribe for more content from me in the future. As I said, I will be going over some of my own predictions and things like that for these new games, so you're going to want to see all of those coming up in the future videos. Also, feel free to check me out on social media. All of them are linked in the description down below, so make sure you go down there and check those out. Again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm Chaos, signing out. Stay safe, and burn it up.